Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to CellVec Conversations, a podcast series where we speak to the team at CellVec to uncover more about the world of viral vector manufacturing and cell and gene therapy. I'm your host, Victoria, and today we have Dr. Gayatri Sharma, Chief Commercial Officer at CellVec, to share with us a sneak peek into the CellVec story. Hi, Gayatri. Thank you for joining us today. Please introduce yourself and your role at CellVec.
Thank you so much for having me over. I am the Chief Commercial Officer for CellVec. CellVec is a Singapore-based cell and gene therapy CDMO. We are the first GMP certified CDMO in Southeast Asia for producing lenti and retroviral vectors as an API to international quality standards. We have an in-house established validated clinical manufacturing process supporting early to pivotal phase clinical development of cell and gene therapies as a whole. My role in CellVec is to oversee the commercial and strategic operations. I'm also running the company and as part of the executive team report to the board to ensure the company brings value to our shareholders and in turn the ultimate stakeholders, the patients for whom these life-saving therapies are actually developed.
So why do you choose to start CellVec?
Cell and gene therapies are considered game changers in cancer care, enabling the patients of not just extending their life expectancy, but also expected to be curative and thus improving the quality of life of these patients. Like all new inventions and innovations, currently these therapies are extremely expensive to produce and hence becoming cost prohibitive to the end users, that is the patients, with the average cost of these therapies being in the region of 500K USD. Now, CellVec was established with the aim of improving these cell and gene therapies to complete the circle of care for our parent company. CellVec is actually a subsidiary of a publicly listed company in Singapore called TalkMed. TalkMed, under its umbrella, holds a number of healthcare companies, of which Parkway Cancer Center is the largest. PCC is a leading private clinical cancer care service provider for this region. Now, CellVec was conceptualized with a mission to improve access for cell and gene therapies to a larger cohort of patients, especially in the region where we are based, where they are typically underserved and overlooked, such as Southeast Asia, South Asia. And we do this by focusing on lowering the cost of goods without compromising on the quality standards. And we started as a company tackling the most important vertical, the viral vector manufacturing. This is the key driver of CellVec, to lower the cost of goods and to improve the access of medicines to overlooked patients in the region.
Very, very interesting, Dr. Gayatri. Could you then share also a little bit more on what then is the value proposition of CellVec?
The mission of CellVec is innovation for patient benefit, where patient benefit is composed of utility value of the treatment outcome. In CellVec, we take this mission statement very seriously and have created a manufacturing platform to outperform industry results on titer and yields, which ultimately enables our partners to use CellVec's product on a larger cohort of patients, thus lowering the cost of goods of the therapy on the whole. We at CellVec see our role as a crucial vertical in lowering cost of goods for our partners because the cost of cell therapies has to go down. This will ultimately improve access to medicine for a larger number of patients.
What are some notable challenges you overcame in growing a viral vector manufacturing company?
So, innovations for patient benefit is not just a hollow slogan here at CellVec. It's a focused aspiration in every aspect of our operation, right from our research, which included innovations such as proprietary plasmid systems, to continuous development of scalable processes leading to cost-effective manufacturing of lenti and retroviral vectors, but under the extreme stringent international quality standards. We achieve this by working on each of these verticals and integrating these aspirations to execute our visions. We consider ourselves to be pioneers in this region, and like all pioneers, our mission was key in driving us forward. We face teething challenges, and our key challenge has been in finding talent to manufacture viral vectors to industrial scale. Another challenge we had was we also had to pave the regulatory pathway to manufacture viral vectors as an API for the region. Now, how did we go about this? We did this by engaging with regulators, even at our concept stage, to have their buy-in to ensure smooth certification of our manufacturing center. We are proactively safeguarding our talent pool and embarking on internal and external training programs to maintain a pipeline of talent and to ensure that our productivity is not hampered during our expansion phase, which is now. Our quality team is also working with international regulatory bodies to ensure that CellVec can manufacture for different territories as we are making inroads into these markets.
What are some of the current challenges to the business right now, and how is CellVec overcoming them?
The immediate challenge that we are currently tackling is the supply chain management of consumables and raw materials exacerbated by the pandemic. The current COVID-19 pandemic has caused this problem not just for us as a company, but this is a global problem. CellVec has de-risked this by working with international vendors and local agents to maintain on-time delivery for manufacturing and eliminating any wastage at our end. To maintain supply on key raw material supplies such as plasmids, we have formed strategic partnerships with our suppliers. Now, we knew that the pandemic will have knock-on effects, and we thought about this the minute it hit us. And our vision and our methodology of handling this was key partnerships. Another area that we've worked really hard to ensure that there is smooth transaction is the release testing workflow. This was achieved again by forming strategic partnerships with third-party organizations. I'm quite happy to say that this has enabled us to deliver the final products to our clients on time and maintaining the low costs. CellVec in the future will look at vertical integrations in these areas to ensure smooth operations and business continuity. But currently, to tackle this pandemic, strategic partnerships is the way to go.
So let's talk about market outlook. So what has the market demand for viral vectors been like?
The market approval of Kymriah and the immediate pipeline of other CAR-T products on their way to the market launch has been a game changer for the industry. This has meant that there is a visible double-digit compounded annual growth rate in the vector supply industry as a whole, and CellVec has been in an opportune time to capitalize on this growth. There's no two ways about it. We have been at the right place at the right time. This has enabled us to pick the right partners where we see long-term horizon for growth at both ends. We typically work with a company at early stage of their pipeline development and help them accelerate their clinical pathway utilizing our core capabilities and work with them from phase 1 all the way to phase 3 and beyond. But most importantly, we feel most satisfied when our work is responsible for the improvement of access to medicine for a larger cohort of patients.
In addition to that, what are some drivers or blockers in meeting the market demand as an industry?
The drivers of market demand, as we discussed earlier, has been the accelerated clinical programs aimed to be advanced from bench to bedside to empower more patients in their fight against these diseases. The blockers, as I see it, is the bottleneck in manufacturing, especially in the lentiviral space. CellVec's response to this critical issue is looking at each vertical we discussed before and coming up with innovative solutions for each of them in order to improve productivity with an eye for lowering costs. Our solutions are not based on capacity building, but around quality innovations that can increase production to satisfy growing market demands.
I believe CellVec has come a long way since it first started. So how has CellVec been able to overcome some of the industry challenges?
The general trend seen in the industry to address the current bottlenecks in manufacturing is capacity building. CellVec did consider this route, and we will, at the right time, utilizing our homegrown technology, scale up our capacity. But to overcome the immediate needs of the industry, CellVec took a deconstructive route. Now, what does this mean? This means that we took each key element in the manufacturing process and innovated it to improve our yields. For example, our dedicated research team worked on developing a helper plasmid backbone, which today has shown to increase our clients' yields by twofolds. Our developmental scientists, on the other hand, have been working on reformulating processes to hold our own compared to not just the existing adherent processes, but also show comparability to suspension-based systems while still keeping the costs low. The anticipated yield per batch is 5 to 10 to the power 10 and 110 to the power 11 total infectious units. Now, what does this mean? For example, 510 to the power 10 is estimated to be sufficient for over 100 patients in a CAR-T trial, where the dose is typically at 10 to the power 8 cells per patient at an MOI of 5. Again, this is based on an example for a batch we have prepared for a client in our last GMP manufacturing run, which has included an element of process development in it. Thus, CellVec is now able to onboard partners with a therapeutic pipeline to service their manufacturing needs, utilizing our established plug-and-play system with the aim that CellVec can take care of their entire viral vector needs, and they in turn can focus their time and resources on the clinical pathway management. So in short, we ask our clients to come in, park their viral vector problems with us, and we take care of it.
Could you share a most memorable moment in CellVec?
The journey of CellVec from its concept in paper to where we are today is special and almost very personal to every member of the team. There are numerous milestones which are special, but the most memorable one has been receiving our GMP certification from Singapore's regulators. Concurrently, we also were audited by a European client who were having multi-site trials in the US and EU, and we passed this with flying colors. This, in my view, is the biggest milestone, and it validated all the effort the team put in to creating a truly valuable organization.
That's really great, Dr. Gayatri. Now that you have shared with us some of the most memorable moments in CellVec, could you share, what are CellVec's plans for the upcoming year?
Firstly, I would like to take a pause here and to give a round of applause to my entire team at CellVec on achieving the goals we set out, and thank them for believing in our vision. So thank you, everyone. Secondly, we would like to keep the momentum going. We have fresh winds behind our sails, and we want to conquer more avenues. Our immediate growth plans are to grow within the region. And I'm extremely proud to announce that CellVec has inked a strategic partnership with a leading cancer research institute in Australia. We are also working in creating and improving, continuously improving our research collaborations and also our in-house productivity. Lastly, with even more collaborations in the pipeline, both in the region and beyond, we aim to improve access to life-saving cell and gene therapy for patients using our technology platform. Again, our story has just begun, but surely we have arrived with our motto of innovation for patient benefit. Thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gayatri. We've learned so much from you today about CellVec's role in the industry, and we can't wait for what's to come for the brand. Stay tuned for our next episode.